Hiya! Welcome to LSB Feasters radio channel, where we keep great radio from the past alive. And today we are playing some audio from Tract, better known to many as the Greaseman. He really truly is a one-of-a-kind air personality. In this era, when you have 3 and 4 and 5 people doing a morning show together, he did it all by himself. And boy, did he create some comedy gold. He got the name the Greaseman from back in his days when he was on the radio when he was in college. Back when everybody would say, I'm cooking, like I'm cooking with the Temptations or cooking with the Four Tops. Well, to show that he was cooking harder than anybody else, he would say, I'm cooking with heavy grease. And he said it so often, his fellow jocks started calling him the Greaseman. And it stuck. For many years, Dougie T was the name he used on the air, but then he created this persona, kind of like an older, middle-aged guy, kind of big-bellied truck driver with a lot of swagger. And over the years, he started using listeners and used their phone calls to help launch him into bits and stories. Grease even created his own language, so nothing was taboo. He could talk about anything he wanted, and his listeners knew what he was talking about. Grease is probably best known for his days at DC 101, WWDC in Washington, where he ruled Washington radio in the 1980s and 1990s. Hey, if you like what you hear, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to the channel too if you like. All right, let's go back with the Greaseman on Washington's 98 WRC.
Howdy do, partner. 608, the WRC is wicked underway today. This here's the Greaseman. I'm sorry, I just can't keep up the gay facade of the happy, smiling, beer-bellied fool playing the hits tonight. I'm sorry. I don't know if Bobby McGee mentioned it to you over his last record when he was saying goodbye for the day. That he's not just saying goodbye for the day, he's saying goodbye, period. He's leaving. Bobby McGee is kind of quitting, and the enormity of it hasn't yet struck me. I'm just kind of in a daze right now. No longer will I get to pluck his hairs from my headphones. No longer will I get to smell the garlic on the microphone from his lunch. But more importantly, I think I'm crying for the wrong reason. Bobby can go for all I care. It's just that every day I know he's on the air between 2 and 6, and me and his wife, she was such a nice lady, and we'd listen to Bobby all the time as we drank the wine and say, man, he does a good show, your husband. She'd say, yeah, he's making the big buck, too. I'd say, oh, yeah, honey, thank you for the sport jacket. You don't mind when you sign the checks? And she said, well, he never knows. He's trusting. I'd come in and say, hi, Bob, how are you? And I'd say, oh, pretty good, lonely. And me and his wife would chuckle. Now I guess that's all over with. Geez, I wonder what James Michael Wilson's wife looks like.
When you say but, you've said a lot of things nobody else can say. When you say but, you've gone as far as you can go to get the very best. When you say but, you've said the word that means you like to do it all. When you say but, it means you want the beer that's got a taste that's number one. When you say but, you tell the world you know what makes it all the way. When you say but, you say you care enough to only want the king of beers. There is no other one, there's only something less, because the king of beers is leading all the rest. When you say Budweiser, you've said it all.
Alehouse Bush Company, St. Louis, Missouri.
We asked Sheila Jackson, a Florida student, why she uses Johnson's baby shampoo. Why do you, Sheila?
I do a lot of sailing and camping out, so my hair gets a lot of exposure to sun and to salt water. And that can be really bad for your hair. So I use Johnson's, and it always feels soft and clean and pretty.
How'd you get started using Johnson's baby shampoo?
Well, I noticed some of the girls around the dorm using it. I needed a gentle shampoo because I have to shampoo my hair every day because it's long and fine and gets oily quickly.
Do you think that your hair is really important to the impression you make on other people?
Oh, yeah. There's not as much consciousness of hairstyle as there used to be, but people are more concerned with looking natural
And clean.
and clean. Just wash with something like Johnson's and your hair comes out looking soft and naturally pretty.
Like your hair.
Oh, thanks.
Johnson's baby shampoo leaves your hair baby soft. And it's gentle enough to use every day.
WRC. Washington weather partially cloudy tonight. We ought to have a low. Some airs around 70. And then tomorrow, thunderstorms towards evening. With a high up around 90 again.
The Great 98-Day Giveaway, where you just use your phone. That's right. Just call in and win. Every 98 minutes, another prize will be given away. Every 98 minutes for 98 days. Motorcycles, 10-speed bicycles, $10,000 worth. Radios, cameras, stereos, record albums, sports stuff. WRC's Great 98-Day Giveaway.
My favorite part about this radio station is the super neato rock and roll. Let's do go, Aretha Franklin, you best sing. Oh, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it, yeah. Good guys united, the Greaseman having a ball with Silver Rock and Roll. The WRC at 6:18, Great 98-Day Giveaway time. Don't forget you get to win a prize every 98 minutes for 98 days. Listen for the funny little noise and then call in and win. Now, when you order a big steak at your favorite restaurant, naturally you expect the best, both in flavor and texture. I always squeeze mine just to make sure it's just right. When you order a Coke with your meal and you see that ice-cold bottle of Coca-Cola on your table, you know you're being served by a restaurant that truly believes in serving quality products, because Coca-Cola is a symbol of quality recognized throughout the whole world. It's that high standard of quality that everybody appreciates and that has made Coca-Cola the nation's #1 soft drink. It's a taste that can't be duplicated, so be sure you get the real thing. Ask for a bottle of Coca-Cola next time you dine out. Remember, Coca-Cola is just around the corner from anywhere.
Soft and dry, it doesn't, it doesn't, it doesn't, it doesn't. Soft and dry, soft and dry, soft and dry, it doesn't, it doesn't, it doesn't, it doesn't. Soft and dry, soft and dry.
Soft and dry antiperspirant. What it does is help keep me dry, even on the hottest summer days.
What Soft and Dry doesn't do is sting me, even after shaving. And I do a lot of shaving during the summer.
Soft and dry from Gillette. It does help keep me dry.
And it doesn't sting me.
Soft and dry, it doesn't, it doesn't, it doesn't, it doesn't. Soft and dry, soft and dry, soft.
The Meriwether Post Pavilion in Columbia, Maryland takes pride in presenting one of their best concerts of the year. It's America, America, whose vocal harmony and musical perfection has made it one of the super pop groups of 73. It's all happening this Saturday night, August 11th at 7 p.m. Don't wait. Buy your tickets today at all Sears, National Bank of Washington, Land Fund Ticket Agency, or the Pavilion box office. Spenders coming Saturday evening, August 11th, 7 p.m. with America at the Pavilion in Columbia, Maryland. For further information, call 953-2424.
Here comes the WRC Prize Patrol.
And here she is, that old whiz behind the wheel. It's Ellen.
Hi, Grease. Listen, before I say anything else, I just want to make sure that you put me on the list that you're forming for that 2 to 6 slot that you've now got vacant. Please count me in. Right now, I'm on Mass Avenue Extended behind a gray Volkswagen with Maryland plates. If the driver of that car will wave and indicate that he's listening to the Great 98, I'm going to give him an album, a bag of silver dollars, and a radio. This is Ellen. It's the Great 98 strikes again.
WRC. You're on my list, all right, Ellen. My private list. I'll make sure you're in the running. Perhaps work out a date when we can have an audition.
the next 98 minutes, WRC awards another prize. The Great 98-Day Giveaway.
Oh, for the top of the morning feeling that lasts the whole day through. Fresh as the grass in springtime, fresh as the morning dew. Get the double deodorant freshness, a manly kind of thing. It's yours, me boy, every time you shower with a bar of Irish Spring.
Double deodorant Irish Spring refreshes a man fast, protects a man long.
Ah, manly soap is Irish Spring.
But ladies like it too.
Irish Spring.
Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun.
Here Comes the Sun. And the stars are Richie Havens and Friends, the featured performers on this week's Flipside. I'm Dan Daniel, inviting you to join us Saturday night for a half hour of your kind of music, my kind of music, and their kind of music. Flipside with Richie Havens and Friends, this weekend on Monitor 73.
Like years since they've been there. Here comes the sun.
This is Douglas Kiker substituting for David Brinkley. The telegrams of praise and congratulations, hundreds and hundreds of them, are pouring into Vice President Agnew's office today, and he deserves it. The general feeling in Washington is that Mr. Agnew made a good move by holding a press conference and showing he's not afraid to stand up to tough questions about the payoff accusations he's facing. It made a good impression. And, of course, people already are saying the Vice President did exactly what the President ought to do, that is, face the public. It was a display of courage and forthrightness, the likes of which we haven't seen in this administration for some time now. If the Vice President comes out of the investigation untarnished, as everybody hopes he does, he's still going to be in the running for the 1976 Republican presidential nomination. But this affair could hurt his chances, there's no question about it, because too many people still believe in that old saying of where there's smoke, there's fire. And the Watergate mess has made the American electorate suspicious of this administration. Until now, the Vice President had managed to keep himself removed from all that, but now there's a danger that voters will lump it all together. It seems to me this can be avoided only one way. It is imperative that the Vice President surrender all his financial records immediately to the federal prosecutors who are investigating his case. He must do this for the sake of his political future. He cannot get away with holding anything back. The prosecutors have requested, not subpoenaed, these records. The Vice President has been allowed a delay while his lawyers study the constitutional questions involved. The big question is whether or not a Vice President is immune to federal criminal investigation until and unless he is first impeached. There is virtually no legal precedent to go by, and this is what makes it really sticky, because President Nixon currently is in the same exact legal situation as the Vice President. On Tuesday, the President's lawyers went before Judge John Sirica to answer a motion to show cause why the President should not surrender tape recordings of conversations between him and various Watergate principals, especially John Dean. The President's lawyers argued that the President is liable to the criminal process only after he is removed from office. So if the Vice President voluntarily surrenders his financial records, it's bound to be cited as a precedent for the President to surrender the tapes. And that is what's called being caught between the rock and the hard place. If Mr. Agnew claims constitutional immunity and refuses to surrender his financial records, a cloud of doubt and uncertainty is going to be left hanging over his head. If he doesn't have anything to hide, why is he doing it? That is the question people are going to ask. The Republican Party nominee, whoever he is going to have to campaign in '76 with the albatross of Watergate hanging around his neck. That's a big bird to have to carry, and it's going to take a strong Mr. Clean to be able to carry it. That's why the Vice President must surrender those records, and the sooner the better. Otherwise, the fine impression he made yesterday will lose its meaning and effect. Douglas Kiker, NBC News, Washington.
Chances are pretty good that something you use in your daily life traveled on a ship whose cargo was insured by Insurance Company of North America. Almost 200 years ago, INA got its start insuring cargoes, and we're still finding better ways to ensure that your needs are protected. INA has developed safety programs to help cargoes get to your home, possibly the radio you're listening to right now. We've learned that by insuring your future, we're insuring ours.
The spirit of 98.
WRC, Washington, the rock of the capital.